Comic books you should be reading in 2024. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. I get this question all the time. I'm new to comics. What should I read? I haven't read comics in a long time. What should I read? So I'm going to give you a list of comics on what you could read. Everybody's taste is different. This is what I like, and maybe this will attract you to comics once again. There's got to be something here in this comprehensive list that I provided for readers out there. If you guys love this type of thing, if you love me helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button? Also, if you guys want to consider this becoming a member of my YouTube channel, as low as 99 cents, guys, you're going to get stickers for your comments when you write in the comments section. You're going to get monthly badges telling you how long you've been a member of the channel, and also you will get early releases to my videos. So again, consider becoming a member, and it's much appreciated if you do or if you don't. All right, so here we go. Let's get started with this list. So, not all these books are new. Some of these stories are going to be old. And I'm going to start off with an independent book, and this is based off of a TV show or animated series that is going on right now. This is Invincible. It was a phenomenal book about Mark Grayson becoming a superhero. This is a very grounded type of superhero story. It's an independent book, so it's not going to hold back. It's done by Robert Kirkman. If you want to purchase any of this stuff, and if you have a local comic shop, go support your local comic shop first. If you don't, then you can go to other avenues. I looked up this book on Amazon. This first compendium is $44 on there. You get lots of story. It's a phenomenal read. I definitely recommend it, especially if you've been watching the animated show on Amazon. Okay, the next thing I will always recommend to somebody, and the series is currently being reprinted, and this is The Walking Dead. This is the compendium. We have the first one for $38. That's on Amazon. Or you can go and get just the first volume, which covers the first 6 issues, for $10 on Amazon as well. Again, support the local comic shops first, right? But this story is really great about the zombie apocalypse, and obviously a sheriff waking up from a coma and having him to deal with this zombie apocalypse. It's much more than the zombies. It's actually a story of the characters and them surviving, learning to deal with this apocalyptic situation. Great story overall. If you haven't read it, you can probably catch up in trades, and they're currently re-releasing reprints in color of this. So The Walking Dead is always a great one to check out. All right, so let's move on to something that's a little bit more recent. We have The Last Ronin. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A lot of us have all heard of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But if you're looking for a fun story that takes place into the future, it's going to be The Last Ronin. There's one remaining turtle here, and you find out, obviously, later on as you read it, who that turtle actually is, what has happened to all the past turtles. A wonderful story. This is like the one graphic novel that was like on the top 10 list of last year that sold really well. So if you're looking for a fun read, go ahead, check this one out. Hardcover on Amazon's like $17 or so. Again, find it at your local comic shop if you have one. But a phenomenal read. I remember reading that first issue and I was so blown away by it. Okay. One story that I have stuck with all the way from the beginning is Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1. You can check this first volume out, see if this is something that you might like. This is a horror book written by James Tynion. This is a story of a woman by the name of Erica Slaughter, who is this monster hunter, and she sees these monsters and she goes to kill them. Children also see these creatures as well, but adults don't. It's a great book, one of the best books that James Tynion has written. And again, it's still ongoing right now. It's on a break. And read the first volume, check it out, see if it's something that you might like. If you like horror comics, this might be right up your alley. Again, on Amazon, this is a soft cover, I think, and it was like $11. All right, let's go on to a Marvel book, all right? So if you're looking for like an older story, and if you've never really read anything that had to deal with Venom, and maybe you've only seen Venom in the movies before, I'm gonna recommend Spider-Man: Birth of Venom. This is a story where it shows you everything about the symbiotes. So it takes place in Amazing Spider-Man issue. The issues that are in this story, in this one trade, is Amazing Spider-Man 252 through 259, the famous issue 300, 315 through 317, Web of Spider-Man issue 1. There's material from Secret Wars, Spectacular Spider-Man. So there's a lot of story in here that has to do with the Venom symbiote. And if you've never read it before, this is what you're going to want to check out. If you're a fan of comics and you never read the story of Venom, you're going to want to check this out. So again, I found this on Amazon for $20. Definitely a recommend if you're a fan or want to be a fan of Spider-Man and the symbiote. All right, let's go to an older DC book, and this has to do with Batman. Batman is not the greatest right now, so I wouldn't recommend jumping on at this point. This is where I jumped on Batman because I didn't read a lot of previous stories in the past. This was from the New 52 days, back I think in 2012, and this is Batman Court of Owls Volume 1. I found this on Amazon as well for $10. This is a great story from Scott Snyder, who just launched this new Batman volume, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. Learning about the court, this has this horrific tone to it. Oh, absolutely great. I think Greg Capullo did the artwork in this one as well. It just phenomenal stuff. One of the best Batman stories that I have read. All right, so let's go on to another older DC story. I'm a personal fan of Green Lantern. I read Green Lantern since I was a kid when it came to Kyle Rayner. And this one is based off of Hal Jordan. And this is Blackest Night, written by Jeff Johns. Now, Jeff Johns introduced like the emotional spectrum when it came to the Lantern characters. There's like the Yellow Lanterns, the Green Lanterns, the Star Sapphires, the Reds, the Indigos. There's all these different versions. And then there was introduced the Black lanterns, right? And we wind up getting to see everyone being possessed by these black lanterns. They become like zombies. It's absolutely awesome. So well done. Some of the greatest artwork in these series, man. Definitely recommend this book if you're a DC fan. And again, if you like darker titles. I'm a fan that leads to the darker stuff, the horror stuff, and that's why you see a lot of that stuff on here. Okay, let's go to more, I guess, recent, okay? And we're going to kick it off here with some indies. And this is something that just most recently launched in the 2023 year. And this one is Void Rivals, okay? They have the Volume 1 that just came out, $17 on Amazon. It's getting ready to pick up actually this week. I think it will cover the first like 6 issues of this, and this introduces the Energon universe. And if you guys are familiar with Transformers, you know what I'm talking about. It's this woman and this man. They come from 2 different races, but they're from the same planet, and they are in a situation where they're forced to work together. And this kicks off the whole thing in Image Comics where the Transformers were introduced. Such a great book. I can't wait for issue 7 to come out. Definitely, if you're looking for a modern story, science fiction type of book, this is going to be it. What was released right after that? Well, like I said, it's the Energon universe. Transformers. Volume 1 is coming very soon. The last issue of the first story arc, which is the first, I think we're at 6 issues, is coming out. The 6th issue is coming out this week. There'll be a trade of this, like I said, and this is written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. Don't let the Transformer title fool you here. If you're not familiar with Transformers at all, right, and never watched the 80s cartoon or anything like that, this book is a perfect jumping on point for just a fan of comics and good storytelling and good artwork, it is an absolute blast. You will have so much fun with this comic book. I absolutely love it. It's about the alien race of the Autobots and the Decepticons that come to Earth, and they have their war on planet Earth. All the stuff that happens in between there is absolutely phenomenal. One of the best comic books that I am currently reading right now. So what's followed up after Transformers in this Energon universe? Well, you're going to get Duke issue 1. You have Joshua Williamson, who is writing this book, who does a lot of books in the DC space. And this one is about one of the leaders of G.I. Joe in his early days, kind of like this version of his origin tale. Again, another great story. You got to see him in the Transformers book and him suffer an event that happened that takes place in this mini series. Really, really well done. And then another G.I. Joe book. We have Cobra Commander issue 1 as well, as we get to learn the leader of Cobra, a little bit of his origin story, how this is connected to Transformers as well. This Duke and Cobra Commander series are only 4 issues, so they're going to be finished soon, so you can buy these in trade as well if you're looking to save a little bit money, but those are some that I definitely recommend. All right, so let's go into a series that is a little bit more affordable. Each issue is $2.99, okay? And this is going to go to Gunslinger Spawn. This is written by famous artist, I should say, maybe writer as well, Todd McFarlane, right? And this Gunslinger Spawn series is absolutely brilliant, as we get Brett Booth that does the artwork on here. I guess Todd McFarlane's more famous for his inking, maybe. I don't know these days, but whatever the case may be, Gunslinger Spawn is absolutely awesome. If you read this first volume, I think you can get it for $10 at Amazon, and then read a few back issues. I think we're on issue 20 something, and you get caught up, and it's for $2.99, guys. You can't go wrong. Gunslinger is awesome. You don't really have to be in all the lore to understand the character of Gunslinger. I guess that's what I'm getting at here. So whether if you like Todd McFarlane for his writing, for his art, for his inking, he writes this book. And like I said, Brett Booth does the art. Don't pass this up. This is good stuff right here. All right, the next book we're going to talk about is kind of like a murder book. Animomorphic animals, causing murders in this world. And this is called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Such a great story here about this little bear who causes, goes out into a different town, and she causes a murder like once a month, and then she buries the body parts in her town. But all of a sudden now there's a murder that happens in their town, and the police are snooping around, and she's trying to find out who this other murderer is that's murdering people in her town. Great story, man. So if you love this type of stuff, pick this one up. Really, really good. All right. Current modern DC stuff. We got Green Lantern. We're on issue 9 of this. If you want to start this off on issue 1, try to go finding some back issues. Maybe there's a volume 1 of this. I'm not sure 100%. But Jeremy Adams is the writer of this series. Really, really good right now. It's getting Hal Jordan back on track. He's with Carol Ferris, which is his longtime lover. There's something going wrong with the power batteries in here. Great artwork overall. I feel like Jeremy Adams gets the voice of Hal Jordan here. Definitely recommend this one. So since I'm a fan of Jeremy Adams, I'm going to recommend The Flash. He wrote the last volume of The Flash, which was really, really good. And one story that was phenomenal in there was called The 1 Minute War. I found this trade, if you can't, again, find it at local comic shop, I found this one $20 at Target. Really great story. He gets the family dynamic of the Flash and all the Flash characters. So this is another fun story that you might want to check out. Okay, let's go to Marvel here. So in all reality, there's a lot of Marvel books, but nothing is like sitting there going, man, this is so good, right? There's some good ones, and I'm trying to get something that you might like. So if you like darker books, I was always a fan of this one. This was Benjamin Percy's Ghost Rider. This is a really good story. I think you could get the trade here for $15. I loved it. I thought this was so well done, so dark. You know, Ghost Rider is not really Ghost Rider at the beginning of this series. He's married. He has problems with his brain. He's remembering dark thoughts but can't figure out what's going on. But if you like dark, gruesome storytelling, if the Ghost Rider character interests you, this is a kind of a modern tale. Doesn't go back to the history so much of the character. I liked it. Check it out. Okay. If you're looking for brand new stuff that just came out, let's talk about it. And it's not, and you like Spider-Man here, this is it, okay? So you got Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1. Everyone can check out Amazing Spider-Man. It's always there for you. But honestly, right now, it's not very good, and you might be disappointed with it, and you might be completely lost. So if you want a good jumping on point, check out Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1. It's written by Jonathan Hickman, and Marco Cicchetto does the artwork. It's phenomenal, guys. It's only 2 issues in. You're not going to want to miss this up. Any Spider-Man fan, or if you've even looked at Spider-Man, you're going to know that this is a great story. All right, so another good jumping on point. You've seen Black Panther in the movies. This might be a little bit different from that, but you want to read a Black Panther series, check out Ultimate Black Panther issue 1. Again, these books just came out. I think Ultimate Spider-Man is going on issue 3. Ultimate Black Panther is going on issue 2. So you're going to want to check that out. Now, if you're into like a manga style, something a little bit different, not a traditional X-Men book, but it's like a mutant book, this is Ultimate X-Men issue 1. Just came out, literally, this comic book week. It's written and drawn by Peach Momoko. So if you're a fan of manga and you've checked out manga, but you want to check out a comic book, this might be up your alley. This is featuring one character right now. That's the mutant name of Armor. Okay, it's very dark. It's supernatural-like, and I'm not sure where we're going with it yet, but this is different and might be for that younger audience. All right, so speaking of younger audiences out there, I got The Spectacular Spider-Man. This is issue 1. Same thing. This just came out, current comic book week. If you like Peter Parker and you love Miles Morales, well, you got these two in the same book doing adventures together. This is a new ongoing series written by Greg Weisman, who did a Spectacular Spider-Man animated series back in the day. So this is a really good book for, fresh new comic book readers to check out. You don't have to catch up, anything like that. All right. So speaking for maybe even a younger audience out here, or all ages, we're going to check out Spider-Boy issue 1. We're currently on issue 4 with this. It's written by Dan Slott. Dan Slott wrote The Amazing Spider-Man a few years back, probably 5 years or more now at this point. And I think he's a great writer when it comes to the Spider characters. This is a story about a character named Bailey Briggs, and he is this Spider-Boy character where nobody remembers who he was. So very interesting. I really enjoy it. Coming out with some new rogues and his, and supporting cast members as well. So this is definitely a must-read in my eyes. All right, guys. So there you have it. There are plenty of comic books out there for you to check out, and everyone's taste is different, right? And the only truly way to like or to find out what you like is to experiment with comics. But these are just some of the books that I've read in the past and current that I've really enjoyed, that I would either continue reading if they didn't end, or I am currently reading. So hopefully this does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And remember, like I said, support the local comic shop first before you go to Amazon, right? I'll always say that. But if you have no local comic shop, I understand why you're going on Amazon. So if you love my content, guys, make sure you click on more right here. I'm always making daily comic book content, and hopefully you subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. And as always, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember, read your comic books.